Before you die, find out what success really feels like. Not the kind you see on TV, the kind that burns inside your chest when everyone doubts you, but you keep going. The kind that comes after rejection, after failure, after nights of silence where even your own reflection seems unsure. When I started, I was nobody. People laughed. I applied for jobs and was turned down again and again. But failure doesn't destroy you, comfort does. The moment you stop believing you can rise, that's when you truly fail. So before you die, test yourself, push your limits, discover what success feels like when it's earned, not given. Believe when no one else does. That sounds simple, but it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. Because when no one else believes, the world is silent. You'll wake up every morning feeling like you're walking alone. You'll share your dream, and people will smile politely, but you can see it in their eyes, they don't think you can make it. Some will laugh, some will advise you to be realistic, and some will remind you of every reason you'll fail. And that's where most people stop. Not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have potential, but because they lose faith the moment others don't agree with their vision. You have to understand something. The world doesn't owe you belief. No one will see your dream the way you do, because it wasn't given to them, it was given to you. So when people doubt you, that's not a sign to quit. That's your signal to build strength. The first and most important investment you will ever make is belief in yourself when it looks unreasonable. Every person who ever achieved something extraordinary went through a phase where nobody believed in them. Every great company started as a crazy idea. Every innovator was once called foolish. Every leader was once ignored. It's easy to believe when things are going well, when people clap, when progress is visible. But when your account is empty, when results are invisible, and when all you have left is your own conviction, that's when belief matters most. When you choose to believe in yourself at your lowest point, something powerful happens. You stop depending on validation. You start working for purpose, not approval. You begin to trust the process instead of the praise. You stop chasing motivation and start living with discipline. Because belief is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's saying, even if I fail today, I will rise again tomorrow. There will be times when you doubt yourself. That's normal. But never let temporary doubt destroy permanent potential. When you stand firm in belief long enough, something shifts. Slowly, people who once laughed will start asking how you did it. The same people who ignored you will now respect you. And that's the beauty of belief. It transforms reality. So if today you feel alone in your dream, remember this: every movement begins with one believer. Every success story starts with someone who said, I'll try again. Before you die, make sure you become that person. Believe when no one else does, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way greatness begins. Use rejection as your greatest teacher. Rejection is not the end, it's feedback wrapped in pain. It's the world testing how badly you want what you say you want. Most people run from rejection because it hurts their pride. They think a no means they're not good enough. But if you learn to listen carefully, every rejection carries a lesson that can build you stronger than any easy success ever could. When you're rejected, you are standing at a crossroads. One road leads to bitterness, the other to growth. Most people choose bitterness. They take rejection personally. They tell themselves stories about how unfair life is, how others get lucky, how they never get a chance. But the truth is, rejection is part of the process. It's not there to punish you, it's there to prepare you. Every no clears the path for a better yes. Every door that closes pushes you to knock harder on the next one. Think of rejection as training. It humbles you. It forces you to reflect, to ask, what can I do better next time? That question alone can change everything. Rejection strips away comfort, and comfort is the biggest enemy of growth. If you're always accepted, you're not pushing far enough. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never face rejection. They're the ones who refuse to let rejection define them. When I was rejected early in my journey, it felt like the world was saying I wasn't enough. But over time, I realized that rejection was not saying you can't. It was saying not yet. That small shift in perspective changed everything. I started to see rejection as data, not drama. It showed me what needed work. It showed me who I needed to become. Each rejection became a teacher more honest than any mentor could be. Rejection will expose your weaknesses, but that's its gift. It shows you where to grow. It forces you to improve your communication, your skills, your mindset. It pushes you to become sharper, tougher, and more creative. The pain of rejection is temporary, but the strength it builds lasts forever. And here's something powerful. The more you face rejection, the less it controls you. After a while, no becomes just another word. You stop fearing it. You even start to welcome it because you know it's shaping you. People who avoid rejection stay small. People who embrace it grow unstoppable. So the next time you're rejected by a job, an investor, a relationship, or an opportunity, don't shrink. Don't complain. Don't give up. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? That question turns rejection from an enemy into an ally. Before you die, make peace with rejection. Learn from it. Let it sharpen you. Because every no you face today is preparing you for the day when the world finally says yes, and when that day comes, you'll be ready. Focus on value, not applause. The world today is addicted to attention. People chase likes, views, and followers as if that's the measure of worth. But attention is a wave, it comes and goes. Value is the ocean, it lasts. If you want to build something that endures, stop worrying about who's watching and start focusing on what you're creating. The applause will come, but only after you've earned it through consistent value. In the beginning, nobody will notice your work. You'll give your best, and it might seem like no one cares. You'll see others gaining recognition faster, and you'll start to wonder if you're doing something wrong, but you're not. You're just in the quiet stage, the stage where real growth happens. Applause is loud but shallow. Value is quiet but deep. When you create value, when you solve problems, inspire others, and make a difference, you build something that lasts far beyond applause. Success built on applause is fragile. It depends on other people's moods, opinions, and approval. One bad comment can break you if your confidence depends on being liked. But when you focus on value, your foundation becomes unshakable. You start working not to impress, but to improve. You stop performing and start producing. You stop chasing trends and start building truth. That's when your work becomes powerful. Real success is not about how many people notice you. It's about how many people you impact. You might touch one person's life deeply, and that matters more than 1,000 who just clap and move on. Don't measure your worth by how much noise you make. Measure it by how much change you create. The world doesn't remember the loudest voices. It remembers the ones that made a difference. When you chase applause, your energy goes into pleasing people. When you chase value, your energy goes into serving people. One fades, the other multiplies. The applause-driven person is always performing. The value-driven person is always growing. The performer burns out. The builder endures. Ask yourself every day, am I adding real value? It could be through your work, your ideas, your kindness, or your leadership. The applause might not come today or tomorrow, but it will when your impact becomes impossible to ignore. The world eventually bows to value. There will come a day when those who overlooked you will notice. But by then, you won't even need their applause. You'll already know your worth. Because when you live for value, you live with purpose. And purpose is louder than any crowd. So before you die, stop performing for approval. Stop chasing noise. Focus on value, on building something meaningful, something that helps, something that lasts. Let the applause be the echo, not the goal. Because when your work is valuable, the world will clap eventually. But even if it doesn't, your heart will. Build with people smarter than you. This is one of the greatest lessons you'll ever learn if you truly want to succeed. Many people are afraid to surround themselves with those who know more, think deeper, or move faster. Their ego tells them they must be the smartest person in every room. But ego is a silent killer of growth. The truth is, if you are always the smartest one, you're not growing, you're standing still. Real success is built with a team that challenges you, questions you, and pushes you beyond your limits. Working with people smarter than you is not about comparison. It's about elevation. You don't lose power. By standing next to brilliance, you gain perspective. Every great leader in history had people around them who filled the gaps they couldn't fill themselves. The most successful companies, the strongest movements, and the greatest inventions were born from collaboration, not isolation. A single person can start an idea, but it takes a team to make it unstoppable. When you build with smarter people, you must first learn humility. You must accept that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. You're not meant to. Your role as a leader, a dreamer, or a builder is not to know everything. It's to bring together those who can. Leadership is not about being the brightest. It's about creating light for everyone else to shine. But here's the catch. Working with smarter people means being comfortable with discomfort. They will challenge your ideas, question your strategies, and sometimes make you doubt yourself. Don't see that as conflict. See it as progress. Growth happens where your comfort ends. Let their insight sharpen your vision. Let their skills raise your standards. And let their excellence become your new normal. The best leaders are students first. They listen, observe, and learn from those around them. When you stop learning, you start losing. So surround yourself with people who intimidate you a little. Be the one taking notes in the room, not the one doing all the talking. Because the moment you stop needing to prove your intelligence, you start expanding it. Building with smarter people also teaches you something: profound trust. You cannot lead alone. You cannot do everything. You must learn to delegate, to empower, and to believe in others' abilities. A leader who tries to control everything ends up controlling nothing. But a leader who builds with trust multiplies results beyond imagination. So if you truly want to rise, seek out those who are more skilled, more creative, and more experienced. Don't compete with them, collaborate with them. Let them stretch your mind, raise your standards, and challenge your limits. Together, you can build something that none of you could build alone. Before you die, make sure you work with people who make you better. Don't fear their brilliance, embrace it. Because success is not about being the smartest. It's about being wise enough to build with the best. Stay humble in victory, hungry in defeat. These two attitudes define the difference between those who rise for a moment and those who stay at the top for a lifetime. When you succeed, the world will clap for you, doors will open, and people will suddenly remember your name. But that's when the real test begins. Success has a way of blinding people. It makes them comfortable. It makes them believe they've arrived. And once comfort sets in, growth stops. Humility keeps you grounded when everything around you tells you that you're special. Being humble doesn't mean downplaying your success. It means understanding that success is temporary if you stop working for it. The same energy that brought you victory is the energy you must continue to carry if you want to keep growing. Humility is what protects your focus. It reminds you that there's always someone working harder, learning faster, or dreaming bigger. It pushes you to keep improving, to stay alert, to remain grateful. The moment you think you're above learning, you begin your decline. Now, Let's talk about the other side defeat. When you fail, when plans fall apart, when results don't come, hunger is what pulls you out. Hunger is that fire inside that says, I am not done yet. Everyone faces defeat, not everyone uses it. The hungry do. They don't waste energy on self-pity. They analyze, they adapt, they rise. Hunger is not about desperation, it's about determination. It's the mindset that turns pain into purpose, mistakes into lessons, and losses into motivation. When you stay hungry after losing, you become unstoppable. Because you're not driven by approval, you're driven by vision. And when you stay humble after winning, you remain open to learning, evolving, and becoming even better. These two forces, humility and hunger, work together like balance and strength. Too much pride after victory leads to arrogance. Too much despair after defeat leads to quitting. But when you combine humility and hunger, you become resilient, focused, and unbreakable. Think about every great achiever you admire. They didn't stop after their first win. They didn't quit after their biggest loss. They kept going because they understood that both success and failure are temporary. What matters is the mindset you carry through both. When you win, smile, celebrate, but don't get lost in the applause. When you lose, reflect, rebuild, but don't drown in disappointment. Stay level, stay focused. Every victory should humble you. Every failure should feed you. So, before you die, master this balance. Don't let success make you proud, and don't let failure make you hopeless. Stay humble enough to learn, and stay hungry enough to chase. Because life doesn't reward those who get comfortable, it rewards those who keep climbing. The higher you rise, the more humility you'll need to stay steady, and the more hunger you'll need to keep moving forward. Never stop believing in the power of small steps. Everyone dreams of big success, but most people quit because they underestimate the power of small beginnings. We live in a world that glorifies speed, instant fame, instant results, instant rewards. But the truth is, anything that grows fast usually fades fast. Real success, the kind that lasts, is built one small, consistent step at a time. Small steps may look insignificant at first. You wake up early one day, work hard, and see no result. You save a little money, learn a new skill, make one more call, and nothing seems to change. That's where most people give up. They don't realize that small steps are like seeds. You don't plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. You water it, you nurture it, you trust the process. And one day, it grows. The same rule applies to success. Every little effort counts, even when no one sees it. Especially when no one sees it. The journey to success is not a sprint, it's a climb. Every small step builds endurance, character, and belief. You may not notice progress daily, but if you stay consistent, you'll look back one day and realize how far you've come. The people who make it in life are not necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They are the ones who kept moving when others stopped. Small steps also protect you from fear. Big goals can feel overwhelming. If you focus too much on the mountain, you'll never take the first step. But if you break it down, one action, one day, one improvement, it becomes manageable. The secret is not in giant leaps, but in steady movement. Each small win creates momentum, and momentum is what turns effort into achievement. When you commit to small steps, you learn patience. You start valuing progress over perfection. You understand that failure is just feedback and that persistence always pays off. Every successful person you admire started small. They didn't wake up at the top, they climbed, one step at a time. They embraced the grind, trusted the process, and refused to quit. There's power in showing up daily, even when you don't feel like it. There's power in doing one more task, making one more call, learning one more thing. Small steps don't just move you forward, they shape who you become along the way. Success isn't only about reaching a destination, it's about becoming the kind of person who deserves it. So before you die, learn to respect small beginnings. Take pride in the little things you do with consistency and heart. Don't rush the process, grow through it. Because one day, those small steps will add up to something extraordinary. And you'll realize that success didn't happen overnight. It happened quietly, through thousands of small steps you refuse to stop taking.